Hello there. Time got away from me. I didn't realize that timer was so low. Hello, everyone. How are we today? We're going to have fun with chocolate and caramel tonight. Well, not so much fun. We're not going to get messy with chocolate and caramel. I almost dislike working with chocolate just because of how messy it gets when you're dealing with, like, you know, tempered chocolate or anything along that line. It just ends up getting all over the house. So tonight we're doing brownies, and I've already boiled myself some cans here. I posted those on Twitter earlier as a little bit of a teaser. And so these have been boiled for 3 days now. Welcome, M-Luck. Welcome back in. Hopefully you're having a lovely day today. Welcome, Trigger. Hello, Neo Realms. All sorts of people showing up early tonight. Hello, everyone. So we got our caramel pretty much already made. It's a pretty simple process. You just put it in a pot with a whole bunch of water. And I picked a pot that left a decent mark on the bottom of it when we were boiling it. But I left myself a good couple inches there of space so that there was no question that these were covered. And even with leaving a good 2 inches of space, it got close enough that I came about halfway through, and added more water. And so those have simmered roughly 3 hours at this point. They should be pretty dark in color. Don't know what we got. We haven't opened the cans, but they you can go 2 to 3 hours with this. So 3 hours should be a nice dark Dulce de Leche. Yeah, I'm not a big... I don't mind working with lava. It's more that the mess. It's more the... And so I cooked those for 3 hours. Around 3 o'clock, I cut them off. Just let them sit for a good 45 minutes or so, just resting in the hot water, allowing the whole thing to come down in temperature. And after that, I poured it off and put them into an ice bath. I used the same pot to make an ice bath. Put them in there, and they were in there another 30 minutes or so. So these things are cold now, which is good, because if you go ahead and open one of these while they're still warm, yeah, not a good plan. I've done it even mildly warm, where I didn't think it would be any issue whatsoever, and it was still shooting out with the pressure. And so definitely want to be careful working with cans with heat temperatures. You don't want to create yourself a bomb in the middle of your kitchen, because that's on the order of what you're doing. You've got a confined space here with pressure upon it. And so, yeah, no boom. Be the best plan. Got a little booze tonight. Get a nice Cab Sauv from Trinity Oaks, which is, the labels here saying in both Napa and Lodi. That makes me think it's probably primarily a Lodi wine that is using Napa for the sales, for marketing. You have a fair number of wines that are, you know, at least mixed in Napa. It's the same thing as you have with all of these other things. It may have been grown all over the place, but we're going to bottle it in Napa, so it's Napa wine. Sort of like Spain produces 2 to 3 times as much olive oil as Italy, but we all buy Italian olive oil. Anyways, what are we going to get started with here? I think I need to get started with brownies. I think we gotta get started with brownies. We're gonna heat our oven to 350. Turn our fan on low. We need to melt some butter. How much butter do we need? Whoa. I don't even know if I have that much. I don't have that much to frost it. Good thing we're melting it. Gonna use a whole cup of butter here. Here, you guys can have that. You lovely peoples, you lovely viewers. Anyone that's been hanging out here for a while may not know that I have unlocked my VODs here on Twitch since I started here on Twitch, since Mixer days. I've been leaving my VODs as subscriber only. And that was because of all the DMCA issues. I didn't even want the risk of stuff. I've now been streaming here a good 9 months at least. I don't have any DMCA marks on my channel, anything along that line, and so I'm going to take a little bit more of a risk there and open that up to everyone. Still keeping all of my previous VODs, my archive, on Patreon. So if you want to see the old stuff, all the Mixer stuff, everything since the beginning of 2020, that's all on Patreon. We're going to give those a minute. We need it melted. The reason I'm giving that a minute is because it's partially melted on the bottom, but it's still frozen. Oops. I assume they just fill these. I've never seen how they actually package butter. I assume they fill these melted, actually. I think that's why you get seepage out of the ends of it when you... Like, there's usually a little bit stuck to, yeah, the outside of that there. That's something I didn't know. I've never heard that. You lost one doing that? That's interesting. I have had that microwave. It has been a trusty microwave. Let's see. 2004? So, 16-year-old microwave? No, we're still not there. We'll measure out sugar and come back to that. We're going to probably need even more sugar than that, but let's see. 1 1/4 cups. Ooh, no bueno. So we're doing 5 of these. Yeah, we might have actually had it all in one bag here. I was thinking we're going to go through both of these bags and a little bit more. I don't know if I would get excited about a microwave. New oven. Sure. Microwave? I mean, you're seeing my primary use of my microwave these days. I occasionally reheat leftovers, but generally, it's for melting butter. I don't even make popcorn that often. Be decent for popcorn, I'd guess, but open a new bag of sugar tonight. Brown sugar. Brown sugar. Brown sugar. Huh. Lots of. Oh, and by the way, I'm only using one of those cans of Dulce de Leche. The other can is actually for next week. But that's going to be for National Turtle Day. I know Dulce de Leche isn't really... I mean, they're essentially caramel. I mean, it's a different sugar, but it's essentially caramel. I don't know if anyone really argues that point or not, but... No, it's actually pretty good for chocolate. I just don't do a ton of chocolate tempering. But yeah, it's right up there with things to do chocolate tempering, especially if you're doing a small amount. You just got to be really careful with it and do it like 10-second intervals. Well, that works too. Went to put 30 seconds in and hit 33 and lived with it. Well, hey, if you're only doing like a... If you're only like filling a tray for shells or something like that, you only need like a couple ounces. Yeah. I mean, I actually think of chocolate as much more commonly, in my world, used as an accent rather than an actual, like, I'm just gonna, I mean, how many times do you see people serve just like a chocolate bar? It's always, some key piece to the whole system, to the whole dish. Okay. 90-second ad for the pre-rolls. Give them that another 20 seconds. Because I'm not going to do a ton of chocolate here on Turtles Day either. We'll probably use the microwave for that. Because I'm only going to be tempering enough just to coat the tops of them. And actually, I sort of intend to leave... I'm sort of hoping to leave the nuts somewhat exposed. Want to show off the nuts. What am I using to mix this with? Oops. Sticky butter. Like, really sticky. Like, it suctioned to my finger there. We're going to give that another 20 seconds, even though the bowl would probably cook it through. So hopefully everyone's having a spectacular National Chocolate and Caramel Day. Yes, the bowl is getting that warm now. Even with those bits of... Hey, look at it, it's steaming from the heat of the bowl. It's a microwave safe bowl. It doesn't really act like one though. Trying to make sure we don't got any butter lumps in there anymore, even though most of it melted. We still have those little bits in there. Want to make sure and cream those in. Actually, I'm going to beat the rest of these. Separate bowl. Make sure we don't get any shells in there, and it'll help out with combining everything. Yeah, I almost forgot to buy something for tonight too, and the only place I went was the farmer's market today. Thankfully, the farmer's market has a dairy vendor. See if I can get that egg to pour out separate. I'm not going to worry about that little bit left in there, but getting these all whisked up nicely will help with incorporating them in the overall batter. Dope. I need more vanilla. Welcome, Raiders! Thank you for that raid, Dreamers Arcade. How is everyone doing? We're having a lovely day today. We're celebrating National Chocolate and Caramel Day. I assume Dreamers Arcade... Well, Dreamers Arcade, you guys do a bunch of things. What were we streaming today? Welcome in, Kirby. Welcome in, Absoluken. We're starting on our brownies tonight. I'm making Dulce de Leche brownies. I already made the Dulce de Leche, which was my Twitter tease this afternoon. I boiled these cans for roughly 3 hours and then cooled them down, allowed them to cool down in the hot water for a good 45 minutes or so, and then ice bath them afterwards so they're nice and cold. They're completely chilled. Only going to be using one of these tonight, though, so I'm going to take this other one out of the view here. And we're going to be combining that with our brownie batter. And that's going to be one half of our stream tonight. The other half being... Hey, Leche. Welcome in. Other half, we're going to be doing chicken and dumplings. And I'm trying I've done chicken and biscuits. I've done chicken and dumplings. We're changing it up yet again and doing it a different way, even either past ways. Going to do more of a boiled dumpling style this time. Though I am hopeful that I'm going to be able to essentially boil and steam the dumplings. I'm going to have to cover up the pan so everyone can't see that the whole time. But gonna steam the dumplings once we put them in the stew, and then I'm thinking I'm gonna try and put them under the broiler and see if we can't get some color on top of them too. Typically, you get those pale white, looks like uncooked flour dumplings, and they're not the most attractive thing. They're tasty, but they're not beautiful. So we're just mixing to combine here on the butter and sugar and egg and vanilla. Okay. Cocoa powder, flour, then salt. Using kosher salt, so I'm going to throw the pinch of salt in there before I use the strainer. Kosher salt's a bit too large to go through my fine strainer that I like using for flour and cocoa and things like that. Got a little leftover water in the cup. Don't want that in our final product, so I don't want you touching. A lot of cocoa. Whole cup of cocoa. Cocoa smoke. Enjoy your lurk. Using the good stuff too. Yeah, let's rinse this out first. Don't need a ton of cocoa in my flour. And a whole cup of AP flour, which actually seems a little bit low compared to everything else in this recipe, but I'm not going to complain about that. I'm going to go ahead and add the chocolate chips in right now, although the recipe says to add them later. I don't want to mix this flour any more than necessary. Thank you for that follow, Gomez. T Gomez 90. I'm using Guittard milk chocolate if it wants to come out of the bag. roughly a cup, so probably a 2/3 of that bag or so. Now we'll mix all this just so it's together. Debating if I want to add the caramel in for the bake and go for the like ribboned type brownies, or if I also don't know what I want to bake these in. Actually, that's not a bad plan. Sorry for the clanking. And we need to grease our pan. Sort of curious to see how this recipe for brownies comes out. Sort of light on the flour, heavy on the egg and sugar, maybe heavy on the cocoa too, but it's not too ridiculous on any of those. It's a bit heavy on the eggs, yeah. We still got some mixing to do on the bottom here. Hey Lotus, welcome in. How are you this evening? Early evening. It's actually still afternoon here, but it certainly isn't on the East Coast, and maybe morning for some of you European UK folk. For those just joining in, we're doing caramel and chocolate day. So we got brownies starting off here. And still debating if I want to add that caramel over the top. Save that for later. Why not? Why not? YSY, Bud Dry. Any other people alive in the 80s there? I don't think Bud Dry exists anymore. There's our Dulce de Leche. Nice dark. It's not super dark, but it is certainly cooked. Just gonna mix that cap in a little bit. I could have gone a little bit longer with this, but that's a decent caramel there. Got multiple dirty utensils in my hand here while I'm pouring out a third. I don't know what I'm doing. Yep. Welcome in, Nan Reader. Thank you for that follow, Peanut. Hope you're having a lovely chocolate and caramel day. We'll give that a moment to settle. Oops. Sorry, ears. Used to doing things in a kitchen without caring about... Oh, I have completely forgot about the battle entropy. Thank you for reminding me. Oh, nice. I've been doing it a couple of years now. Let's see, where are we with our pre-roll? Okay, I guess we'll just run the battle. We're going to have to run a pre-roll after this, though. Army's coming for took out the musketeer. This is gonna be rough. I don't think we're gonna do it. I don't think we're gonna do it. Boo. Just rip. That was a pretty good try for 5 players on the field. We're gonna have to repeat that one. And they didn't give us give me like a eighth of the former mobs on the field. That last one had all sorts of mobs on the field. Probably because it was... I think it does prediction off of the ending of my last stream. And so... It's you get to the end of the stream, you got everyone in here because everyone wants to see the final dishes. And the beginning there, it's a little rough getting people in here first thing. Even though I give you guys sprinkles, everyone sprinkles for coming in first thing in the stream. Welcome in, Zemobius. How you doing? And so, since I basically burned through my entire pre-roll for getting my last battle here, we're going to run another 90-second pre-roll. And I'm going to take some of that time here and do the normal good stuff here. Rogue. Why not? Let's do the flag bearer. Rogue. Leave the rest. Quest. I don't think I got anything really. Yeah. Wipe off the top edge here. So that's just going to get nasty or burnt. So we got our caramel brownies chilling here, ready to go in the oven. We'll throw those on the back stove here while we're waiting. And butter back in the fridge. Okay, that went together a bit quicker than I expected. What are we? 45 minutes in here. Alright, gonna throw the brownies in the oven here. 350 degrees. And let's check the recipe. We're probably going to have to give them longer with those. "25 to 30 minutes. Well set and firm, 35 to 40. So I'm going to give them 35, and we'll see where we're at there. Okay, 35-minute timer. And on to working on chicken stew. Because we need chicken stew to make chicken and dumplings. Of course, if we're going to have chicken stew, that means we got to butcher a chicken. Wherever I put that chicken. Hiding in plain sight. See if we got any goodies in here. Yeah, we got a bag of goodies. Come on. What's new in your world tonight, Zen Mobius? I hope so too, then. No one likes bummer weekends. Hopefully everyone's having a good start to theirs. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, that's not a fun experience. I had a couple of cats as a kid growing up, and thankfully I was away at college when they got a little old, but didn't make it much easier. And since then, I've discovered that I'm quite allergic to them, so not getting new ones anytime, even though, like both cats and dogs, just apparently allergic to both of them. Saving the wings and the carcass and the offal for stock. Just throw that in the freezer. I'm forgetting about that for a couple months because I just made stock 2 weeks ago. I've already got 2 new chicken carcasses waiting. Yeah, I got super close. Standing in the pound. Going to pick up a dog a couple years ago, even though I'm allergic to them. Mildly. It seems like I'm more allergic to dog saliva, or not 100% sure, but something to do with dogs makes my sinuses go nuts. It makes my skin break into hives where they've been licking me. But yeah. What stopped me from not picking up that dog? Before you ask, someone else got it just before me. So that was fun too. Perhaps a sign I wasn't in a good mental state at that point anyways. Alright, chicken in the freezer. Might as well pull out a bag of chicken stock while we're here. Not that we really need chicken stock to make our stew, but be good to have it around. I'm gonna ditch the skin tonight. I'm sorry to hear that you've lost your loved one. So you're doing something fun and interesting this week to help you forget that, right? I already need to sharpen this knife again. I didn't really do a full sharpening on it last time anyways. I just sort of roughly cleaned it up a little bit because I was taking a notch out of a different knife. My neighbors have a dog. Well, rather, my neighbor's daughter have a dog. So there's been a dog in my yard. I share a property. And their dog used to be on my property all the time, but I think their daughter went and moved up north to Seattle area. Don't see her very often anymore. They used to have a store here in town and closed their store and moved out, I think. Parents are reopening a similar concept in a completely different location. Same city, completely different location. I think it's time to bust open this wine. It's a 12-bucker tonight, so we're going a little bit higher end than last Wednesday. Wednesday we were doing $4 wine. Tasted like sweet apple juice for the most part. That was a Riesling. Which is about what I expected for a $4 wine. It wasn't that bad. But $12, I expect a bit more. It's not going to be... Actually, I take that back. Actually, the really cheap wines tend to be slightly better than the worst $10 wines. So we got a greater range of potential failure here, I think. Not a great sign. We're starting off with a synthetic cork. Got a foam cork tonight, as I sort of think of them. They got this like plastic or wax exterior, and then they're like a foam, or I don't know what the heck they are. See if we can't get that to focus. Focus! Focus! There we go. Sort of like a foam-like structure, and it's waxed. And yeah, they have a big thing about they're doing environmentally friendly. I don't know if that really matches up by whatever this cork is made from, but one bottle, one tree. In other words, they're planting a tree for every bottle they sell. Let's see what we got. Dark. Can't even hardly see through that. You can a little bit, but not much. Ooh. Definitely got some barrel spice. Some, maybe almost tobacco-y. You got some, we got some spice here. We got something that's going to talk a little bit. Wow. That didn't... The nose and the mouth are... This is an acid bomb. fruity, bright. Absolutely not what I expected from the nose, but I still love the nose too. You got spice, you got some funk on the nose, and then it's just a straight barrel spiced fruity cab, which is not the same thing as, say, a fruity Merlot or a fruity Pinot or... Going a little bit smaller on my cutting for the thigh meat, because we're going to have more connective tissue, more stuff to cook and break down there. So I'm okay with that cooking a little bit hotter and heavier, since this is a stew and not, you know, we're not just grilling this or something. It's not going to get too ridiculously dry sitting in a stew. I didn't do it. It's not me. I don't know if you guys, if anyone, heard the sirens passing by. I never know quite what picks up on mic. I hear most of it in my earbud, but not all of it. Ooh, need a pan. Another 13 minutes still on those brownies. They're looking yummy. They're looking still moist though. So you got the pan cast iron pot heating up for our chicken. See how we're looking on our battle here. We got Trigger adding all sorts of stuff onto the field there. Entropy adding all sorts of stuff on the field there. Apologize. Bedroom door closed, yes. Smoke alarm check, check. We're getting there. Oil's starting to dance in the pan a little bit. I'm gonna do this in stages. Figure we'll do about a third at a time. We're gonna brown all the chicken meat off. Then we're gonna set aside. We'll chop up our veggies. We'll sear all of our veggies in the pan. Then we'll add everything in. We'll add a bit of stock, add a bit of water, allow that to simmer a little bit. See where we are in our thickness. Maybe thicken that a little bit with cornstarch. And then we'll make our dumplings and add them in. Steam the whole thing. And I might try and throw it underneath the broiler for a couple minutes too. Give this all a good hit of salt. And salt will help break down the proteins while it's cooking. Or if you add it before you're cooking, it'll help break things down nicely. Alright, 90-second pre-roll before our battle. Actually, I can change that right now while we're on stream. I don't have to do that off stream. I can do that right now. That was too much for this pan. We're getting too much water loss from our chicken. Oh, we can change the label on it too. Changing things on my stream deck if anyone's curious what I'm randomly speaking about here. Let's run our battle. Battle! To battle! Too much moisture loss. We're boiling our chicken. Interesting, the Flying Rogue picked out the tank to fight against. Oh, I guess it was the only thing left. The other rogues got the chests. Victory! We won that one. Poisson with the kills and the assists. Thank you, thank you. Entropy getting those scrolls. Congrats. And let's see. Yeah, we're going for the loyalty chest. Yeah. Oh, all sorts of stuff all over the place in this map. I think I'm going to put my tank right there. These things move? What are these? I haven't seen these before. Stationary. Okay. So good. I'm glad I picked that spot. We really don't have to worry about the spiders. Spiders are typically... Oh, they're assassins. They're off in range. Alright. So, maybe one more melee or something over there to protect from those three. But otherwise, I think we'll handle everything else from that spot. Back to cooking chicken. And I pulled all the chicken off to the side there. It's still going to steam over there, so it's still cooking there. But it gives you all that area there to evaporate all the liquid off, which is what I'm hoping to do. The real way to do this is just take it back out of the pan. It's too much for the pan. That's a pretty looking onion. Hi, ice machine. I emptied all my ice out for that ice bath, and so it's busy at work refilling my bin. wonder if maybe I should have put some parchment over those brownies. I think they're going to be thick enough that they may get a bit messy trying to get them out of the pan. Even though I buttered it pretty well. About a minute more before the brownies come out of the oven. Hey, B-boy. How goes the glass blowing? We're making brownies, which I'm just about to take out of the oven here. Well, at least to check. Ooh. I'm going to give those another 5 minutes. We're going the full distance on those because they're thick. And looking ooey gooey right now, so. What's cooking? We got Dulce de Leche and chocolate brownies in the oven. We're going to be doing chicken and dumplings. I'm just getting started with that. And I'm drinking a nice $12 Cab Sauv, which I didn't say this before, but I'm actually pretty impressed at this for the price point. And that would cut through some heavier dishes too, if only because of the aromas. It seems to be very light on the palate, but very heavy on the aroma. Sort of an odd mix. Scrape off all those good bits as much as possible. Set this over on a plate. Try and get most of the chicken and leave as much of the oil as I can. So I'm not going to sit here and strain it. Heat back on. More chicken in the pan. more salt in the pan. Oh yeah. Well, the price to actually like sell a bottle of wine, where you're at least coming close to break even, is about $10. I expect these guys are only making $1 or $2 off this bottle, and so the cheaper stuff is usually subsidized somehow, whether the supermarket is marking it down for their benefit, they have some hand in the actual production, something like that. And the more expensive stuff, either they're selling it to make bucks, or it's a scarcity thing. You have wines that are a specific row of grapes that just came out amazing, or from a specific vineyard that's very well known, people can track year after year. It used to be the baseline was about $5. It's up around $10 now. Maybe if you're in France or Italy or something like that. I sort of think most of the Californian vineyards probably. Oh, there's a few names out there, but the vast majority of them change hands too often, change names. Yeah, I mean, you'll be able, if you're a real wine nut, you'll be able to track the location and be that same vineyard, but so many of these, especially in the $10 range, end up being the here for this year and gone next year variety. There's a few that show up year after year, but not many of them. Oh, shut up, timer. Yeah, it's brownie time. Let's put the trivet up so I can show you fine folks. And I need a second towel. Yeah, I think I maybe should have put the caramel on at the end. But we got some brownies. Yay, brownies. These are obviously going to have to chill down a little bit. We got a bubble. Tempted to pop it. Take that, let those hang out over here. But those are thick. Those are going to be at least 1.5 inches thick. Those are some thick brownies. Wish you could, Nan Reader. Wish you could. Add these to the other ones that are already cooked up. Add a bit more oil to the pan. Allow that to warm up for a moment. Yeah, I've joked about that too, but I'm sure you all would love to smell the food. Don't you want to smell the compost like it was smelling on Wednesday? Ooh boy. So we're doing 4 batches since I overloaded that first batch. This is still slightly overloading it here with the larger ones, but oh well. Yeah, I'm already working on that. Actually, I've been trying to be good this last week or so. I mean, I'm making brownies and I made cookies on Wednesday, but I've also been exercising, which... Exercise? Try and make Sunday a little bit lighter of a fair. I actually haven't even planned out my menu for Sunday. But Sunday we're doing the strawberry-focused dinner. I didn't see any strawberries at the market yet. It seems sort of late. Normally, we have strawberries here by mid-March. Maybe I'll have to take a look at the farmer's market. Maybe I'll actually have to go to my local farmer's market on Sunday or Saturday. I went today. I got my bi-weekly CSA box. I say bi-weekly, it's because I'm buying it bi-weekly. But they're a little bit light this time of year. Still got leeks, still got carrots, still got radishes. Got a bag of mesclun mix and artichokes. Got artichokes. We gotta use artichokes for something here this next 2 weeks. We got to figure out how to work in artichokes into either my strawberry dinner on Sunday, probably, or next Friday, going to be fish and chips. Next Sunday, I'm going to be trying to do chimichangas made with crepes. Completely random thought that I had. Thought it might be a cool thing to try. So we're going to try that on Sunday. It could be a disaster. Who knows? But also for Wednesday, since we're hanging out at the moment, waiting on that chicken to cook, we have our Discord vote going on. Wednesday, we got a tie here. Plantains versus coffee grounds for next Wednesday. And if you're not familiar, new in the chat, every Wednesday I do an ingredient challenge, and that ingredient is both savory and sweet. I do both dinner and dessert with it, and so I'm either going to have to use coffee or plantains in both sweet and savory applications. Both of those I think are okay to do with that. I've had some past ones that were really hard to do for, desserts with green beans or garlic. Or seasoning mixes. We got black garlic, Greek seasoning, Creole seasoning, spinach, charcoal. These are all past ones that I've done. I've done about 25 of them now. So if you want to join into the Discord, I'll give you permissions after the stream. And you'll be able to vote in our tie vote. Got a runaway. Actually, we got 3 runaways. But we definitely got a runaway that made it onto the floor. One last batch of chicken here before we go in on onions. Yeah, that was sort of what I was thinking. Something along that line. I got all that salad mix to use up. We got strawberries. Strawberries are great for salads. We could do like a balsamic strawberry salad. But that's like 30 minutes. Maybe. You gotta figure something out. Also got that puff pastry that I made a couple weeks back and froze too. That puff pastry dough. Can use that for something too. I don't know. I don't have plans yet. When I say I don't have plans, that's half me saying I don't know what's on sale. Get rid of our raw chicken junk. Keep our kitchen somewhat clean of cross-contamination, even though I've cross-contaminated at least 3 times that I've noticed myself tonight. I try not to do that on stream, but that whole 2020 action is... That whole hindsight is 2020. Oh gee, I shouldn't have done that. Oh, I already did it. Ooh, we're getting hot in this pan now. Turn that down a touch. We're still at a decent saute temp there, but oh, you're hooked into Age of Empires now too? I'm not hooked into it, but I know who got you hooked. Or re-hooked, or hooked recently. Yeah, I didn't either. My dad actually might be interested in playing some Age of Empires. I know he used to like it. Realizing now I probably should have opened that Rosé of Pinot Noir tonight, even though it would be a little too light for the dishes tonight, but having some white wine to deglaze this pan would be optimal right now. So we got our plate of cooked chicken here. Oops. Cooked chicken. We'll add the onions into the pan now, though. Use the onions to sort of cool things down. Although I'm going to keep the heat on. We're off on the oven, right? Okay. My range likes to... The dials aren't accurate sometimes when my oven's running. That's what's going on right now. The dial isn't accurate to the flame from what it normally is. I threw these here because these are my old carrots. I've now got new carrots. They're still pretty strong and pretty solid for being 2 weeks old. I mean, they got a little bend to them, but I think we need a couple more carrots than that. Oh, actually, no, we don't. We got leeks. I'm going to take a leek and put it in the stew. As always with leeks, you gotta be careful to clean the dirt in between the layers of the Thank you for that follow, Calla. Welcome in. We're still cooking here. Might need to refresh. My browser just hiccuped. Thank you for that follow funny commentary. turn the heat up a little bit here now. Do actually want to cook these onions, not just steam them. You also want to try and get all these little stuck-on bits in the bottom of the pan, using the moisture from the onions to do that, to deglaze the pan, rather than some wine or something. Want all that flavor. It's all going to eventually end up in there because it's not going to leave the pan anyways. Tonight, we're doing brownies, which are cooling down. We got Dulce de Leche swirled into those brownies. It's looking a little muddy on top, but hopefully it's looking good on the inside when we cut them. And chicken and dumplings. So we're getting started with our chicken stew. I've got my chicken all seared off. And we got our onions going in the pan. Might as well add our other veggies in here now. I thought I cut those onions pretty well. There's definitely some strays in there though. I'm not happy with that. Good. Had an extra rib of celery that I cleaned from Wednesday that didn't make it into dinner. I'm gonna go a little heavy on celery for our, just because I got the celery round and don't really have plans for a lot of other uses for it. I haven't added the garlic, but that's because I don't really intend to saute the garlic, and I don't really want a heavy garlic. I want some garlic in there. I mean, everything's better with garlic for the most part, but I don't want heavy garlic. Actually, I have black garlic still. We may be using black garlic. I wonder how much black garlic is going to affect the broth color. It's going to turn the whole thing black. Well, granulated garlic will actually, granulated or garlic salt, will actually give you a much stronger flavor than raw garlic. And it goes down to that whole Allison thing, where when you bruise garlic, or onions for that matter, they create chemicals. Hey, cereal generator. Thanks for stopping by. And that garlic flavor you get from the chemical combination of their... It's essentially a defensive move by the plant. Something's attacking the plant. It's bruised it. It doesn't want it to bruise it anymore, and so it creates all those flavors that we love and other animals are supposed to hate. Add in all the celery too. Like I said, we're going heavy with the celery. So when you buy garlic powder, I've got garlic I don't know if it's granulated garlic or garlic powder I have, but I have one of them. Garlic powder. Both of these are going to have a much stronger, because they're so finely, essentially chopped. All that Allison's been broken down. That's all it takes most of the time. So the claw method isn't everything. Just about everyone in my culinary colleges got themselves some cuts. I actually made it out without one. But just about everyone in butchery class, which is one of your first classes at the Culinary Institute in New York, is butchery. You actually go into butchery before you go into knife skills. Or at least you did when I was there. And you don't really... The claw method doesn't work too much for butchery. Ooh, sprouting garlic. It's that time of year, though. We're working with stuff from last year. This stuff has been dried and preserved, most likely. Unless it was imported and grown other side of the world or something. I wouldn't think that knife skills are necessarily a huge thing to have pride in. I mean, your final product you want to have pride in, but being proud that you didn't cut yourself, eh. And so, try and peel these, or pull these sprouts out of the center. They'll be a little bit green. That green can add to our bitterness, like that probably will a little bit. I'm not going to worry about it though for a little bit for that. I am going to add that in just to basically stew with everything else though. I'm not going to try and sear leeks. They're like searing grass. So what do you do for coating? You're saying were you the one that said you followed your way here from Callo? Callo does all sorts of coding and in-game stuff for here on Twitch. Add our garlic in. Give this a good stir again. It's starting to get quiet back here. And I typically say, should worry about things cooking, treat them sort of like a toddler. When they stop making noise and stop irritating you, then you need to start being a little bit more worried. Can be a rough job. And unless you really, really love that daily grind, it can be tough. I mean, I see it happen here with just streamers on Twitch. They just come in and do a cooking stream for like 2-3 weeks, and then they disappear because they either didn't get the stardom they expected, or they're just not set up to handle their life like this as a normal part of their life. So I'm going to add the leeks in, I'm going to add the chicken in, I'm going to add the stock in there. I do have some turnips that I was thinking of throwing in there, but this pot's getting pretty full already. We got some chicken stock I made on stream a couple weekends ago. Did a 12 and a half hour stream a couple Sundays ago. I think it was 2 Sundays ago. We'll let this just steam on top and melt down into that deliciousness. That was the end of last month, the 28th. I don't know if that showed up on stream or not. But big old slab of stock. And we're going to throw a little more water on the bottom, if only to make sure we don't got burning going on down there while everything else sort of combines. So watch me cook then. You can work on your coating. You see, this way you get to be able to cook and you don't get any of the calories. I mean, it's the perfect diet plan. You got all sorts of spice. You got some like light tobacco in the smell of this. But I just love it. Is like certain wines, like this one and most of the Zinfandels and stuff like that, and bourbon. Just the smell alone, it's like half of the fun of it is just smelling it. Well, this is the other one that I offer people. If you guys want to create, you can use some of that coding ability. You want to build a transporter, put my name on that patent with you. I'll cook you anything you want. Move the slab off to the side so it's a little bit more pretty. Hey, Red Nut! Thank you for reminding me of that. Let's do our 90-second pre-roll. Essentially, yeah. You want to create that real Star Trek transporter. Red Nut, we got brownies, which are already made and cooling down over here. These are swirled with Dulce de Leche. Whole can of Dulce de Leche, which might have been a bit much. And on the stove, we got the start of our stew for our chicken and dumplings. We've got mirepoix, leeks, seared chicken, little garlic, and chicken stock and water, and salt. Might as well add a little more salt while we're at it. And we're drinking some wine, which, I'll say it again, $12. This is a decent bottle. And I say that knowing that the higher you go in wine, it's not just that it has key flavors and key things that you're seeking. It's also that it's typically a cleaner wine, in that there's none of these funky notes in there that are going to conflict with your meal. Let's do a little cleanup here. Let's see. Let's run our battle. See how we do here. All sorts of mobs on this field. No problem. I think we got this. Lost a couple units. It's one heck of a musketeer. Shoot. Oh, it's this over here. Artillery. I think I have artillery in my player count. Victory. Entropy getting those kills. I get the assist. Yay. Red Nut getting that scroll. Congrats. Loyalty chest time. Yay. Extra gold. Or maybe a skin. There we go. We'll run that map in 30 minutes. If I remember. Is there anything else that I want to throw into this? No, I don't think so. So I think we're making dumpling batter now. Take our messy butter from before and a little bit more. Another tablespoon or so worth. Corn dog was pretty good, Red Dog. Or Red Nut. Red Dog. Don't know where that came from. The Salad was great day of. Was junked the day after. So I gotta expect that. Soup reheated fine. Ice cream was amazing. I did not expect that ice cream to be half as good as it was. You get those little bits of meat that are less meat and more like smoky savoriness that you get every little while when you're eating ice cream. And that corn batter on the outside of it just broke down and the flavor just went throughout the entire ice cream. So it was like this sweet corn ice cream with little bits of smoky savoriness in it. And cookies were great too. That cornmeal recipe that I used for the basic cookie, great recipe. I really liked how those turned out. And if I need a nice simple cookie again, I might go for those again. Wait, did I forget that in the other recipe? That would have made it even gooier recipe for the brownies, but... Huh. Maybe I was looking at a different recipe earlier. Could have swore there was some cream in that recipe. I bought cream for tonight. Need it for this too, but... Got ourselves some good cream tonight. With the fat cap. I used to, Red Nut. I have a mobile kitchen that is not currently certified, but could be a commercial kitchen built into a trailer. I worked with that for about 5 years at the farmers markets here in Sonoma County, making products based off what the farmers were bringing to the markets. It was a lot of fun, but financially it didn't quite work out. I could have expanded the business and made it a feasible business, but I really wanted to have it be like a 1 to 3 person business. It just wasn't feasible with all the California fees. When you're working in farmers markets, you're paying for each farmers market you go to, plus your storage location for your trailer. There's just so much extra overhead that it just made it unreasonable. You have to get business licenses for every city that you're going to. It's not like you're running just one restaurant sort of a thing. Oh, I need more butter than that. I weighed that wrong. Or measured that wrong. Yeah, it says it's low. That flame doesn't look low, though. That's a bit closer to a low flame. I'm going to add a touch of vinegar here, which will both break down and give us some nice umami, but also will add some acidity into the game and make those flavors a little bit brighter. And of course, since it's me, we're going to add some straight MSG into this pot. Some black pepper. Okay, a lot of black pepper. My pepper grinder isn't very quick at working either, though, so... Might actually go back for more pepper there. We'll see how that looks. Nut basil. We don't want any basil in there. That's tar. I thought I had some dried thyme. I do. It was hidden in back. A little dried oregano. A little dried thyme. A little white, or a little onion powder. And a little mustard powder. Well, let's add a little. Do I have any of that last? Did I use it up? Oh no, I still got a little. Let's do a little smoked paprika in there too. Just about a teaspoon in there. Hey, Uncle Stinky. From Seattle, eh? Well, hello from Sonoma County, California. We're gonna get some more butter this party. I actually put about half the butter I needed in there. That's a little more, but it's about 2 tablespoons that I got in there. And we'll cut this in sort of like we're making biscuits here. I pulled this thing out of my trailer here recently because I sort of came to the conclusion that I think my hands are on the hotter side and I gotta stop trying to... I have been working butter into flour for my biscuits, and I think this is probably going to be a little bit better temperature-wise for me, especially when I'm working in a kitchen here where I'm sweating just standing here for the most part. So what's happening in Seattle tonight? You celebrating National Chocolate and Caramel Day like I am? We got some brownies cooling down over here. Some Dulce de Leche caramel brownies with milk chocolate in them. Has pulled away. I'm glad that it has somewhat pulled away from the sides though. So I'm a little bit more trusting. I was thinking that I didn't put parchment on the bottom and I was worried that I was going to be ruining them all when I pull them out of the pan. I'm feeling a little bit more trustworthy that I might be able to get a couple nice ones out of the pan. Let's see. Salt, baking powder, cream. Just eyeballing the baking powder. And since they're my dumplings, I'm going to add some onion powder in there. Debating if I want to add parsley in with this mix too. Little green color. I think we'll leave that without it. And need about half this bottle of cream. Still mostly trying to allow the dough to lift and separate. Because we don't want to develop gluten here at all. We don't really want much structure to these. But we do want them to combine somewhat. That sounds good. It's been quite a while since I've made a stroganoff. I know I've made them on stream before, but that was like last year when I was still getting my meat CSA thing and had a whole bunch of lamb and goat in the house and was doing all sorts of things like that with it. Stews and braises. I'm just going to grab these and sort of loosely ball them up, I think. Yeah, they don't quite... It's not quite coming together. Pretty close, though. Okay. How do I want to shape these? Do I want to shape these? I don't think our stew is really ready to be topped just yet. Anyways. Oh yeah, definitely not ready. We still got frozen chicken stock on top. Let's move that down in there. Get that defrosting a bit. Toss in some of these spices and deliciousness. Oh, that's smelling lovely. Now is one of those points I wish we had smell-o-vision. All those herbs are moisturizing and releasing their aromatics. That's going to be lovely once that ice melts. Now for this, let's put our cream back in the fridge. I don't know what I got pink on my handle here, but I've cleaned this handle a couple of times and the pink color is just not coming off. Whatever it was from. Let's see, do we want to... No, I don't really like that. I think this is going to be too large. That might actually work. Let's try doing the scoop. That's not too bad. Yep, just a touch of it. Oh, hey, I'm getting delivery. Thank you! I didn't realize I was getting a delivery today. My neighbor walked it over to me. Oops. Ouch! Ow. That's a rude awakening. Eesh. I don't know that I sleepwalk at all. I know that I certainly snore, and it's been claimed that I talk in my sleep before. Hey, Obi. Good morning. Good evening. Good afternoon. Welcome in. We're working on all sorts of loveliness tonight. It's National Chocolate and Caramel Day here in the United States. Not that that's really a special... I mean, we have food holidays like every day of the month here in the U.S., so... And if any of you have been following me around my stream, you know I do a lot of them. I really only started doing them when I started on Twitch, though. I didn't think about that, but I'm sure there are, Red Nut. By the way, Red Nut, I believe you claimed a bad advice last stream and I didn't fulfill that for you. I'm going to suggest the good addition that you add into this. Good, you know, accent point. You know, make these dumplings just turn out that much better. Is if you added in little pineapple into the whole mixture there. I think that would work great with the chicken stew, and it won't affect the dough at all. Yeah, Uncle Stinky, we already got that pretty much covered. I gotta cut them, make them look pretty, but we got our brownies already cooked with a whole can of Dulce de Leche in there. And that was a pretty gooey brownie recipe to begin with. Let's see, we still have ice in the center here. Yes, we do, still. Amazing. We did lose our boil, though. We definitely want this back up to a boil for our final product. I was debating whether I said we're going to evaluate here if I wanted to add any thickening into the liquid. I don't know that I really do. I think I want to leave that a bit looser, because these are going to add some flour to the party, and that's going to thicken things up a little bit. Thank you, Obi. How are you doing today? I could find out for you, Minmus. Welcome in. It's going to take me a quick moment here, though. I'm going to have to load a couple of websites to get there. Hopefully this is muted. Mute. I don't want to hear myself echoed. Sorry if you hear me echoed. This is one of those things that seems to happen to me. If I load another stream, I won't hear it in my earbud, but you lovely people will. I've gotten... Yesterday was Lacy Oatmeal Cookie Day. So they got national holidays for everything. I don't even know offhand what a Lacy Oatmeal cookie is. I mean, I know what oatmeal cookies are. But a Lacy Oatmeal cookie? No idea. We got... Today is also Poultry Day, so we're doing poultry too. Didn't think of that when I was writing them. I must have thought of that when I wrote my menu, but as I've been saying, I have my menus written out for almost 2 months at this point. We're probably getting closer to a month now. I need to write more. And so it's almost like I write my recipes, I plan them out, and then half forget them until like the week of. It almost makes it a new surprise. It actually works pretty well. But I think we're going to leave it like that for our liquid. We could thicken that a little bit, but... Nah. Let's turn that heat up a bit. Get that back up to a proper boil. They might do that. I sort of have a feeling that they're probably really thin. If I remember, I have a hazy memory of lace cookies being like practically paper thin cookies that are lacy. I've done some other cookies that are like that too. I'm trying to remember the name of the other one, but there's another cookie that's essentially just like some flavoring and sugar and fat. And so it just melts into this flat circle, and then you put frosting in between them and layer them. Hey, Head Mama Bear. How's it happening for you for tonight? How's your evening going? Your day, your morning, whatever it be for you. Let's give this a taste, though, before we go and add that other stuff in there. Make sure we got enough salt and that good stuff in there. That's pretty tasty. I think we're okay there. I don't think I need extra salt. So let's go ahead and, since we're starting to tremble there, we're going to start boiling here soon. Yeah, we're starting to tremble. We'll go ahead and add these in. I balled most of them up. Awesome. Cookie presses are... That's actually something I'm really interested in when it comes to food and stuff. I like the processes and the way things are done. And so I love looking at those YouTube videos from the candy makers and stuff like that, and all their different ways of forming and pressing candies, and all of these outdated and unavailable machines that they found from like 100 years ago. I once was sort of dreaming of the idea of coming up with a place where I could have all of those toys and sort of like rent out the space so that other people could use it. I don't think that's really a feasible thing. That's why I'm not doing it, but it sounds like such fun to me. And since we're half steaming our lovely dumplings there, we're going to have to put a lid on this now and hide it from all of you. We're going to give that a good, probably 15 minutes. Let's see what the recipe says here that I'm loosely following. 17 minutes. Okay. And while that's going, I'm going to actually turn the broiler on to heat up. Thank you for that follow, Culinary Rewind. Glad to have you in. It was a bit bigger than a cookie factory or rent out. It was sort of born in that whole... If I don't know if many people outside of the States have heard of the maker events or maker spaces. We have a maker space. We have a couple of them here in Sonoma County. And they're like, the maker spaces that I know of are sort of like, they have welding equipment, they have jewelry equipment, they have woodworking equipment, and so you just pay like a membership fee. You pay for training, which is really what usually makes it too much money to really be feasible. But you pay for training, and then you can use the space. And I was hoping to do the same sort of thing with like a kitchen, where you got a big project, you want to do your family all together for a big project. You want to make sausage, you want to make cookies, you want to make candy, whatever. And you could rent out the space and do your couple of days as in a professional location with proper setup and everything that you really sort of need. The downfalls to that are keeping a pantry for people, and the fact that you're going to have to trust people with knives in a space that you're renting out. I didn't even look into it, but my idea is that that's going to be ridiculously expensive in insurance. And so, yeah, I sort of scrapped that idea. Sort of like it, though, at the same time still. I just don't know that it's really financially feasible. So let's set a timer here for 15 minutes. We already let this sit at least 2. That sounds like fun. I mean, it's essentially what I do. I'm always trying to find new things. On Wednesdays, we have ingredient challenges. So here in the Discord, if you want to join in the Discord, I'll give permissions to people after the stream. If you're new into the Discord. On Wednesday, I'm going to have to either use plantains or ground coffee for both dinner and dessert. And so, makes a bunch of interesting dinners that I've had to make in the past. Like last week was corn dogs. How do you make dessert with corn dogs? I made ice cream sandwiches. Anyways, battle time. So we need to run our 90-second pre-roll ad. Okay, that's now running. Plantain fries? Well, honestly, I'm not overwhelmed by plantains. I've never really enjoyed much of the meals that I've made with them. I usually find them as like a bad version of a banana in my mind. They're essentially like a banana with a whole bunch of extra starch. They're like a banana that's crossed with a potato. And typically they're often smashed thin and then fried, which pretty close to fries. No idea what I would use for putting that in the dessert category. Welcome, Miss Lisa Face. How goes your Friday? Hopefully you're having a lovely start to your weekend. Blue Moon, welcome in. Sorry I missed your note there. We are working on a couple things tonight. We've got chicken and dumplings. That's what's currently on the stove back here behind me, covered up. We need the steam action for cooking those dumplings. So unfortunately I gotta cover it so you can't see what's going on there. And we've got some brownies that are still pretty damn hot in the center here, but are cooling down. These are a combination of chocolate brownies with a whole bunch of Dulce de Leche that I made before the stream. I cooked it. I cooked condensed milk. I boiled condensed milk in a large pot, several inches of water above the can. Cooked those for 2 to 3 hours. It was closer to 3 hours, but they ended up a bit light. Allowed them to sit in the hot water without heat on the water for a good 45 minutes after to allow them to get closer to room temp. And then once they were at a temperature where I wasn't really worried, I mean, I could still handle them with my hand, but they were a little bit warm, sort of a stage, I threw them in an ice bath and made sure they were completely cold before I opened one of them up. And so I did 2 cans like that. One is in this. The other one's for next week. So, caramel, we've got milk chocolate in there. We got a whole cup of cocoa in this mix. That's going to be some deliciousness, I think. That's nice, Miss Lisa Face. Let's run our battle. Lame appointment. I don't know if I want to know about that, but I'm glad you're done with it. Ice machine. Enjoying a $12 bottle of Cab Sauv here. It's, I think, punching above its weight. I think this is a pretty decent $12 bottle of wine. Oh, we do have a little residual sugar there going on, though. Maybe it's just sweet. I showed that to the camera like everyone could see that. The camera's not even working right now. Oh, I died. Are we gonna get this last one? I think the Warrior's gonna eat that until we get there. I was thinking the Berserker wasn't gonna take that, and then the backup probably wouldn't take it either. We might have this. Yeah. Victory. We lost quite a few units, though. That was a rough battle. Entropy getting the kills and the assists there. Let's see who gets these. We get 3 scrolls from 2 scrolls, so Head Mama Bear and Entropy, congrats. And I get 12 event tokens, whatever that means. Ooh, we got some bubble over going here. Let's turn that down a little bit. Still want it boiling, but we don't want it boiling hard. Epic Dice Buster skin. Interesting. Most people, well, if you're in the States, most people can. Whole Foods does now. Through Amazon. And your Safeway or whatever, Safeway, Albertsons, 5 gazillion other names under the same company, they may be able to as well. Lots of units on this field. Let's see what we got here. These things, if I remember, we have to kill these, like, first off. Otherwise, yeah, unless we kill these in the first 25 seconds. So I'm going to put my tank right here next to these in hopes that it'll go after them. We'll see how we do in 30 minutes here. And this will be our last one of the battle. Last battle of the evening. Aww. Yeah, there's some states that are still practically dry. I don't know if there's still any states that are completely dry. I know there's still counties. Is we still too hot for my cutting board here? This is still too hot, but I don't want to cut these just yet. Like, the bottom of that is, I can put my hand on it, but I don't want to hold my hand on it. And that's with my hand being able to handle some heat. But when I do, at the same time, I have to complain about that their selection from online with Amazon or Whole Foods is so horrid. They've got like maybe 2 or 3 bottles of each major wine type. It's so lacking in what it should be. Yeah, I'm not going to be living in any... I'm not a heavy drinker, but I'm not going to be living in any dry counties myself. Got another 5.5 minutes here of lid on our stew. And then we put it in the oven. She can't see it anymore either. Yeah, dry counties ish. Are my bots not working tonight? I just realized that there's no scramble going on here. It's listed like it should be running. Huh. My other ones are running. I did just update the word list. I fixed pre-cooking to have 2 O's instead of 3. Pancake code, I've done those. Obe remembers what a great job I did of them too. But I did bacon pancakes, or I did banana pancakes with bacon in them. They didn't turn out very great. But welcome in, Minmus. Chopping celery. That's interesting. Because I don't think of celery being that much louder than, say, onion. Or actually, I think of carrot as just as loud, too. Now, that's not chewing it. Chewing it, it seems louder to me. Like, you get that fibery break to things. It's just still so warm on bottom. Like, there's no questions in my mind that at least the chocolate and stuff on the bottom of this is still melted. There's no question to me. So we'll let that cool down a bit longer. A special crunch, huh? Special crunch. It's the special celery crunch. Let's do a couple of dishes while we're waiting. Save myself some work later on. Not the crunch them. Oh, so they have a melody to their sound, huh? They have a harmony too? I thought you didn't like celery. Or is that someone else? Someone was telling me the other day that they don't like celery. KSP. I'm going to take a guess here and say Kerbal. And the main reason that comes to mind is because I think Obe has mentioned Kerbal in chat before. Someone was saying that they just like celery, and I somewhat agreed with them. I don't like most like supermarket celery. Most supermarket celery to me tastes like dirty water. Now, farmer's market celery is a different animal. It's got flavor. Why can't green peppers practice archery? Because it doesn't have... Ugh. Now those are looking like some dumplings. That's looking tasty. Next step, I think I'm going to try and throw these under the broiler, and let's see what we get here. I've already got the broiler going. Holy Trinity, yep. Carrots, onions, and green onion. Or green pepper. Cebolla? Huh. What is going on? How does the game go underway when I stopped the whole process and restarted it? Might have not have Scramble tonight. Sorry, folks. I'm sorry, Min-Mess Man, that you're confused there. Carrot, celery is onion is mirepoix. Or sofrito? Italian term. I never remember the Italian term for that. Cajun Trinity would be carrot, onion, and green onion. And green pepper, not green onion. Yeah. Gonna give this pan a rinse out. Actually, I'm gonna give it a light scrub with my lightly soapy scrub, and not care that it's got a little soap on it, because I have cured this properly now. And we'll heat that up and dry that pan out. I'm wondering if I'm even going to be able to cut these during stream tonight. I mean, they're way too hot too. The bottom of this is just way too warm to cut right now. Brandy, beer, and champagne. There was a drink that was one of the dorm room things in my college, the Culinary Institute. And I don't know how much this was constricted to just our class or what it was. But one of the drinks that we got known for is, party night, was what we called Bampagne, which was a combination of Miller High Life, champagne of beers, and cheap champagne in a trash can with a fresh bag. We had a couple of funky different drinks that we did that were on the college cheap end. We also had Blonde Beavers, which was Busch beer with apple cider. Didn't do a lot of different mixed drinks though, and yeah, we had a couple of Jungle Juice parties. I don't know if we really called them Jungle Juice, but I get what you... Yeah, I think of Jungle Juice, and I think Everclear and fruit juice. But we had a couple of those. We also had, being a full... That's really the thing that sets the Culinary Institute, I think, above just about any other culinary college in the United States, is you're on campus. And so imagine the idea that you've got 2,000 chefs, like professionally trained, well, at least desire to be fully professionally trained, all living in one spot in New York. We had parties where we were cooking hors d'oeuvres in the fireplaces. We had smoking parties that were 24 hours. We stayed overnight drinking at the party. We had some royally epic dinner parties. I mean, we certainly didn't have, all the sororities and fraternities and all that goes with that, but we still had some pretty epic parties. Trash can punch? What was in your trash can punch? Like I was saying before, we had Champagne, which was Miller High Life and cheap champagne. Which, is it really cheap champagne? Because I would think if it's cheap, it has to be sparkling. I would think if it's coming out of Champagne, France, it's got to be pricey. Wow, that just changed. It's amazing how wines can sometimes just radically change because of something else you've been doing and smelling. And that just got a lot fruitier to me. Let's see what we got going down here. Oh, we're pulling that out. There we go. Look at that gorgeousness. Who doesn't want some of that? That just... Oh, I'm gonna love that. Yeah, that sort of fits in with the jungle with juice parties that I was referring to before. Need some parsley here to finish our stew off. I kept a couple of peluches at the top there to use for garnish. If you're not familiar with the term, that's a peluche. It's a... Well, actually, this might be 3 peluches depending on who you talk to, but... But the actual smaller breakdown of it. Maybe someone can Google that for an exact definition, but that's what in my head it is. Oh, silly bot. Why won't you run the game? It's now at least trying to run it. I think this is probably enough parsley. Yeah, we got all this out. Why don't we just use it? I don't think it's going to overpower this stew. This stew is got flavor. Parsley's just going to go well in there with anything anyways. Did you know people used to chew on celery or on parsley as a palate cleanser? If I was making stock soon, I'd save these for my stock, but I'm not making stock soon, so. That doesn't shock me. I don't know what the common palate cleansers are for aromas these days are. Coffee doesn't sound too far off. You want something bold that's going to knock the old flavors out of your senses, but you also want it something that's going to clear away quickly. Pickles, any type of pickle, your acids are great for that. Oh, I didn't catch that. It was with, yeah, obviously with sushi. We had pickled ginger as a potential Discord ingredient there. Is that still in our list of potential ingredients? Because not only do we have voting going on here, not only do we have a tied vote going on here for Wednesday, but we have this list in the next column down here. Let's see, do we still have pickled ginger here? I know I put pickled ginger on there, but I think it ended up losing the battle to something. Nope, it's not there anymore. But if anyone wants to join in the Discord, you can feel free to make your own suggestions as well. You can vote for him by clicking on the chef icon there, or same thing here with this vote. You can click to add or reduce. You can vote for everything, but you can only vote for everything once. So let's make some dumplings. Let's plate up our dumplings here. mix our parsley into the stew. Sort of try and mix that into the bottom here. Underneath all that lovely goodness. All underneath all those dumplings. All right. Yep, that's tasty. A little worried that we're going to be dumpling heavy on the overall recipe here, but photo time. Oh, I'm sorry, you lovely people didn't get to see me plate that up. My apologies. Left that sitting there on the Discord view. Thank you, Obe. So that's looking yummy to me. I'm gonna enjoy that. I'm gonna risk it. I'm gonna risk it for the biscuit. We're gonna risk it for the stream. And we're gonna cut these brownies. Even though we're not quite there. Last minute and a half to get your units on my field. Oops, let's get the parsley off of my knife here first before we get into the chocolate and caramel here. Sort of wish I had left like a quarter of that can. Do I have some more in here? Not enough. Sort of wish that I had saved like a quarter of that Dulce de Leche to just pour over the top here. We do have a nice crust going there on top. That's a good sign. I'm not really cutting very even here, am I? We'll run the battle here in a moment. Actually, let's do the battle first, and then we'll plate these up. I'll get the plate here to tempt all of you, though. Let's see how we fare. See if we can destroy all these embryos before they bust open, for lack of a better term. These alien tanks. Wow. All those ranged enemies over there to the right. Another hard-fought battle, but I think we got that. Victory. Entropy with those kills and assists. Thank you, thank you. Yeah. I should probably turn that off. Let's see who gets the rewards. Red Nut and Entropy with the rewards. Congrats on the scrolls. And we shall call that a night there. We'll finish up. We'll start Sunday's stream with a boss map. That should be fun. First thing, right out of the gate. Let's see if these pull out of here. Huh? Maybe. Well, not quite the structure to do so, I don't think. Oh, you thought I was just putting that pan up there to clean it later, right? Yeah, I'm gonna clean it. My mouth. But for our photo, we need something a little more impressive. We're gonna hope this comes out one piece. Mostly did. Who wants a brownie? These be going good with the strawberries for Sunday, too. We are doing strawberries on Sunday. as always, we'll have sort of generic photo of everything on the Twitter. We'll do a couple photos on Instagram, and everything goes on Discord. Let's give a close-up. Show everyone what we're looking at with some proper color, those C920s that I use on the stove and cutting board. Don't quite give you that color. Who wants some brownies? I apologize, Miss Lisa Face. Who's Banjos? Huh. Ah, there we go. Who are we gonna raid tonight? Who are we gonna raid? Why don't we go over there? Thank you for reminding me that, Oven. Shouldn't leave the... I'm gonna send you all off to hang out with a streamer I often raid here, Mr. Rhino Lion. Go do some pottery. You're St. Bernard. I made the assumption that it was your pet, but I did not know what your pets were. I'm sorry, Miss Lisa Face. I know I've stopped by your stream a couple of times and enjoyed that. But thank you all for joining me tonight. I'm gonna go and enjoy this deliciousness. I already know this is fucking amazing. I assume that's fucking amazing. We'll be back here, as I've said several times before. Sunday we're doing a strawberry-themed dinner. So we'll be back on Sunday evening. Wednesday we're doing either coffee grounds or what was the other Discord item? Plantains. Plantains or coffee grounds on Wednesday. And next week we'll have fish and chips and crepe chimichangas. My own creation. We'll see. Maybe it could be a disaster. Hopefully it's delicious. Thank you all for joining me, and I hope you all have a great night. Bye-bye.